So that's why Live High is the major. We encourage you to go that route, because who's going to spend 18 hours in this altitude tent? It's just not realistic. Okay, I have a little video here. This is going to be an interview of the cross-country coach from Minnesota. He's going to talk about altitude training for a little bit. They also have a physician talk about altitude training.
We're talking a little bit about altitude training, and a lot of athletes go to Colorado before the Olympics. Do you see any benefit to altitude training?
Yeah, I think it's pretty well established that altitude training is a good thing to do. I'm a two-time Olympian, and I used altitude training a lot. And back in the day, that was 25 years ago. So today it's advanced a long way from that. And, it's pretty much common for the guys to go and the women to go up to altitude to get ready for big competitions.
What are some of the improvements to their times?
Oh, it can be relatively significant. I mean, you never know when you go into a training situation exactly what it is that helps you. But, I know personally from coming out of altitude training, if you're up there for 20 days or thereabouts and for a short period of time, when you come down, you feel like you have a little bit extra zip.
We know that altitude training is good for an athlete and they perform better, but what does it actually do to the body from a health perspective?
It helps the body deliver oxygen more efficiently to the tissues. You have a greater distribution of red blood cells. The red blood cells are larger, there's more of them, and the blood vessels in the muscles actually grow to deliver the oxygen more efficiently to the tissues. The ideal altitude is actually referred to as moderate altitude training, which is somewhere between 1,800 and 2,500 meters, so a little bit more than 1 mile. If you go much higher than that, the detriments from actually being at higher altitude to the point where you can't exercise efficiently is going to be a detriment. And so ideally, you're only about 1 mile to about 8,000 feet up in the air.
That was my little video on altitude training. So basically, the reason I showed that video was just to show that altitude training is generally utilized throughout the endurance world. I know the Olympic teams from Sweden utilizes altitude training, so it is a fairly conclusive tool for your endurance athletes if they want to take their athletic performance to the next level. Conclusion here. So I got altitude training has both positive and negative effects. So we talked about that already. If you use the Live High, Train Low technique, you can generally neutralize those negative effects, creating, enhancing your endurance performance. Make sure the athletes find a high enough altitude to elicit the EPO response that they require for an increase in red blood cells. Okay. This concludes my presentation. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section of this YouTube video. Thanks for listening.